1. Old message.
Hi, I'm a backpacker out in California. We met up with Doug out on the trail. He hadn't seen anybody for 4 days. We met him on Saturday the 21st. I'm calling, it's Tuesday afternoon. I just got back out. He just wanted me to call and say he's doing great. We saw him at Lower Mills Creek in the second recess area in the Sierra. He was on day 9. He's in good spirits and in good shape. He misses you. He's having fun. His equipment's working out fine. He says to tell you that he loves you. My girlfriend was familiar with the route that he's taken. She had read the book about the Sierra High route, and he took about a 15-20 minute break with us. Very.
End of messages.
I guess the first question would be, why did I decide to do the Sierra High route? I needed a big-time adventure in my life, and I needed something out there where there wasn't a known outcome. There's a lot of people who told me that this was just on the verge of what was physically possible. I'm reminded of a quote that my good friend told me as I was preparing for this. He said, "You know, Doug, there's all kinds of people who will tell you you can't do something, but there's nobody who's going to stop you once you start it." This is day 1 of my Sierra High Route route. The Sierra High Route is something that I've been planning for about 10 or 11 months now. Sierra High Route is it's in California. It starts in Kings Canyon National Park and ends 200 miles later at the north end of Yosemite. And it tries to stay along the crest of the Sierra Nevadas. So I'll probably be averaging about 11,000 feet. And most of it is not on trails. So I'll be scrambling and route finding and climbing my way up granite slabs and boulders and some talus fields and scree fields. And if everything goes as planned, I'll hopefully be coming out of here in 22 days. I'm doing it a little bit different than most people. I'm trying to do it solo, so that's one. So first of all, I won't be by myself for the whole time. And number 2, I'm trying to do it unsupported.
It's Friday the 13th of July, and I guess, I'm not too superstitious, but if anything bad was going to happen to me on Friday the 13th, it would be good to happen on the first day of this 22-day trip. Right now I'm at camp. Behind me is Grouse Lake, and it is a sight for some very, very wary eyes. It is this beautiful setting here. It is really hot. It's probably about 80 degrees up here. This lake's a little over, or it's about 10,500 feet. Kind of give you the panorama around here. Completely surrounded by these just incredibly high granite mountains. I'm going to have to go over that pass tomorrow, but I'm not even thinking about tomorrow yet. I'm just sitting here with a grin from ear to ear after making camp after a pretty tough day on the trail. And then, of course, there's the lake. And down in the background over there is where I came from. That's looking due south. I believe that's the Kings Kern Divide way out there. So yeah, this is where I'm going to be camping tonight, and I'm going to really enjoy it. It was a hard day. It was something that this might be one of the most well-earned campsites I've ever spent my time at. Had to come up from over there 5,500 vertical feet today, and that's a long way. It took about 8 miles, but the mileage wasn't the big deal. It was the vertical feet. That'd be hard under normal circumstances, but I think the thing that really made it a tough one was that pig. All 60 pounds of that thing. It doesn't feel too good.
Today is really kind of where the Sierra High Route really started to, I understand why it's such a special thing, and I understand why I spent so much time planning for this thing. I saw more beauty in one day than probably the average man sees in his entire lifetime. I just could not believe the scenery, the beauty, the meadows, the lakes, the mountains, and I have yet to see a single person. I wish I knew the species of flowers. You're going to have to forgive me. But a lot of them, I know that a few of them were columbine. I know a few of them were called sky pilots. But I know all of them are beautiful. Too pretty for words. I'm excited to be in camp on day 2. It was a good day, and as you can see, I was duly rewarded with a beautiful place. So I'm gonna make some dinner here, wash up a little bit, and hit the sack early because I am really tired. Sitting between 2 beautiful lakes with a waterfall in between them. The lakes are probably about 30 yards apart. I am surrounded on every single side by towering peaks, some of them going up to 12,500, and then just a world of granite. God seemed to touch this place a little bit more special than the rest of the world, and definitely left his mark on it. After Glacier Valley, I was supposed to intersect a trail. I never really could find it. And the thing that was tough about that was I was below timberline, so I had to do my first bit of bushwhacking. And it was kind of funny because I'm in Glacier Valley thinking, man, it doesn't get any prettier than this. This day doesn't get any better, and all of a sudden, it got worse. The mosquitoes just absolutely ate me alive. Had to throw on some DEET, which I hate to do, and I was sweating and bushwhacking through these tall plants and getting scraped and falling and not being able to see anything. And finally, I heard the call of a creek. And the nice thing about a creek is at least you can get approximately where you are, at least in one dimension. Do all the right things, you get to enjoy this spectacular, beautiful bit of heaven, and nobody's here because they can't make it back here. Of Frozen Lake Pass right now. This is one of the more difficult passes to get to, and I kind of find myself in a bit of a conundrum right now. I'll show you what I came up over here. So that's looking back down in the lake basin, and you can see I got a lot of weather coming in, a thunderstorm. It's definitely not the place to be, so that's my conundrum. And as you see here, this is what I get to go down. This is not going to be an easy place, and like I said, I'm not liking where I am right now. So I guess real quickly, because I want to get off this thing, I just climbed up this huge talus slope. And talus, for those of you guys who don't know, talus is a bunch of boulders and slabs of rock, in this case granite, that are just sitting along this whole face, and they're unconsolidated. They're just kind of resting on each other. And they can kind of go at any minute. You look at them weird and they might fall. So as you're climbing up, you have to be really diligent about what you're stepping on and stuff like that, because the whole thing might go. But like I said, the climbing up here wasn't that bad. We climbers lovingly refer to it as a chaussee, because it's definitely not the place you want to go unless it's a last resort, and this route is the last resort. It's the easiest way up. So wish me a little luck getting down this thing, and I'm going to be camping right behind me, probably an hour away or so, but I want to get out of here soon. Talk to you later. You're just on these gargantuan blocks of granite the size of VW bugs, and I thought that was way harder than coming off of Frozen Lake Pass. Once I was in Upper Basin, it was raining pretty bad. I didn't worry too much, but I was trying to figure out what I was going to do about being wet and sleeping, and then a couple called out to me. They were underneath a little bit of a rock ledge, and first people I've seen in 3 days, and one of them is Carl and Heidi. I didn't exactly spend the nicest of nights. My down sleeping bag was wet just because kind of the downpour, and I slept very poorly last night. Got very cold. Woke up a lot, kind of shivering and stuff like that. But is the most remote place I've ever been in my entire life. And as you're walking around, especially as you're walking around by yourself in this just absolute remoteness, you realize that you need to take care of yourself. You can't afford to have a sprained ankle or break anything or to slip on anything. You don't want to burn yourself on your fire or anything like that. And so a little bit more diligence back here. All this time allows you to think a lot about your friends and your relationships and how special all those people are. But I'm tired. I've got the bear canisters out, but I don't think there are any bears that make it back this far, but I could be wrong. My spirits just high. I'm really enjoying myself out here. I love the fact that I can drink water right from the source without having to treat it, and so today, like I said, was a very, very good day. There's one thing I'm not going to do anymore on these recordings. Every single day, I expect the next day to be a little bit easier. Like I expected today to be easier than yesterday and you know, all the way back, and I'm not doing that anymore. I'm pretty sure that every day is going to be earned. In a little bit. I'm feeling I'm feeling a lot relieved right now, for one reason, and that is my father has been a little bit more stressed out and a little bit more worried about this outdoor adventure than any other outdoor adventure I've ever taken. He asked me to do him a favor, and that was I'm carrying a couple postcards with me with stamps on them, and if I see some outbound hikers who I know are going to resupply or be at a post office in the next 48 hours or something like that, he asked me to give them or fill out a postcard. So, cards. Well, I finally found one today up in Doozy Basin, and he said he was going to be in Bishop this evening, so that should be in the U.S. Postal Mail and up to you, and that was just a load off, and I finally got that done, and a major stressor was just off me because I don't like my parents worrying about me too much. Hut was built in 1930 to protect some of the original hikers who were coming through here. It's a beautiful hut, but you're not supposed to stay there anymore just because it's a historical relic. And then you kind of drop down into Wanda Lake. Wanda and Helen Lake are both named after John Muir's two daughters. And Wanda Lake is about a mile long, and that's the start of Evolution Basin. And then by that point I was tired, ready to call it a day, but I knew I had to get to Sapphire Lake. Like I said, if I'm on trail, I need to do the mileage. Finally made it and almost collapsed into camp. So those are reasons why it was great. I had a bit of an adventure today. I had to cross a couple of really steep snow fields, probably the most sketched out I've been, actually the most scared I've been on the whole trip so far. And for the first couple of days, I'd been cursing the fact that I brought my ice axe, a very light ice axe, and some instep crampons, just because it's been a low snow year and I didn't think I was going to need them, and I didn't want to carry the weight, but, you know, better safe than sorry on this route. And today, I couldn't have completed the route without them. And like I said, my ice axe went from being despised because of the weight to probably being my new best friend. So that was a lot of fun. Got feet above it. And the boulder fields here they are something reckless. You get your, you know, and they're just kind of standing there, the boulders are, but you get your standard boulders, you know, that are basketball size, and, you know, some that are the size of couches, and microwave size, and every once in a while you get one that's the size of a car, and they're just, you know, all stacked on top of each other with big gaping holes all the way down. And you just kind of sit there and jump from boulder to boulder, picking your way out. And of course, it's really hard on your knees, but you just keep going. And I've never crossed boulder fields like this, and today I probably had to do 2 entire miles of the hardest boulder field crossings I've ever had. So after you see those, you start getting pretty accustomed to these, and, you know, making your way through it, not making any mistakes. You can't slip on these.
So I just pulled into camp on day 6 of this absolutely wonderful adventure. Let me show you where I came from today. Again, here to the east, or excuse me, to the south, and I'll zoom in here. That is the Glacier Divide. That's what I came over today, through all that good stuff. And it was interesting to say the least. It was a beautiful route through there, and then I got to come through this Humphreys Basin and out to a place called Mesa Lake, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. On the beautiful, as you can see, I got some oceanfront or some beachfront property at least. Coming down this way, there's, I believe, Grand Mount Humphreys, and that's the pass that I got to go over tomorrow morning, but I'm not really going to think about that right now. What I'm actually going to do is strip down, go take my daily bath, and then I've got, for the cuisine tonight, is some beef stew. Then I'm going to sleep under a 5,000-star in a 5,000-star hotel. Hope everything's
Today was hands down by far the most difficult mental and emotional day of my trip so far. It almost broke me, and I really questioned whether or not I should continue going on this trip. I really was in my own head. You know, I haven't seen anybody for a long time, and I was really struggling. And one event that kept reoccurring over and over and over was just a solitude. And, you know, the only thing I was thinking about was my friends and my family and my coworkers and my students, and it just kind of kept circling through my head, and like I said, I was in my own head, and I started kind of getting deeper and deeper into that, and missing them, and wishing somebody was there, and I started noticing that it was becoming problematic because I just wasn't paying attention to my surroundings.
I just want to feel safe in my own skin. I just want to be happy again. I just want to feel deep in my own world. But I'm so lonely, I don't even wanna be with myself anymore.
The only thing I could think think about was being alone, and I wasn't enjoying it at all. I just wasn't paying attention to the grandeur that was around me, and I really struggled with that for probably a good 4 hours in my own head, going, just kind of downhill and downhill and downhill, until finally I realized that I was going to have to deal with this soon if I was going to continue on for the next 14 days. And I knew if I didn't deal with it now that this trip was going to come to an end, or something else was going to happen. Trying to figure out exactly why I was having these thoughts and what I needed to do with them, and why the hell I was even on this trip in the first place. And I think I found some sort of centering or answer, and it struck me while I was sitting there that this was a lesson that I needed to learn, and this is one of the reasons I came down here to the Sierras, and it hit me like a thunderbolt. I'm not missing anything. I'm not missing sunscreen. I'm not missing food. I'm not missing my car or my job. The only thing that I'm missing are the people around me, and it really hit me, and I felt so good after I figured it out. I just realized that I really need to start taking care of those relationships.
Safe in my own skin, I just want to be happy again.
So I want to take you through dinner preparation here. This is probably the meal that I look forward to the most, because it's kind of what I'm thinking about as I'm making my, the last hard push into camp or something like that. So I try to take real good care of myself with dinners. Now, for this trip, I have 7 different dinners. I've got macaroni and cheese, beef stew, chili mac. Let's see, some couscous and parmesan. I know I'm missing a few. Oh, and then of course my favorite right here, curry noodles. Now, just about everything I make myself, and then I vacuum seal it. So right here I've just got the noodles here, and then the curry with some dehydrated milk and some dehydrated butter. I've got my jet boil going already. This thing boils pretty dang quick. So it's fired up, ready to go here. And yeah, we're almost boiling. So I'm going to throw the noodles in here. Now I use angel hair pasta because it's thinner, and therefore it cooks faster. And I like fast. So does the stove though too. So we got that going in here. Everything, as you can probably tell, is based on efficiency. The less cooking time, the less gas you have to have, and all that good stuff. And up here, things, of course, take a lot longer to boil, twice as long a lot of times than down at sea level, just because of the altitude. So I'm going to let that sit. And I keep these right here. Like I said, I don't do a lot of these pre-made things, but I eat out of these, so I don't have to clean these. So this just boils the water. Everything's going to mix into here. I actually save all the water and drink it because it's got starch in it and stuff like that, and I need the calories. So even after I dump the noodles out, I use it. So that's pretty much it for dinner. As you can see, this is my rest day, so I rested. It was nice today. And I'm going to be hitting the sack and then heading out tomorrow morning. So I'm going to let this finish up, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like in a couple minutes. And everything's kind of just ready to eat here. Now, if that doesn't look good right there, I don't know where you guys are coming from, because to me, this is going to be gourmet tonight. Curry noodles. I love this stuff. You guys have a good evening.
I like to rest my heavy head tonight on a bed of California stars. I like to lay my weary bones tonight on a bed of California stars. I love to feel your hand touching mine and tell me why I must keep working on. Yes, I'll give my life to lay my head tonight on a bed of California stars.
Well, a little bit of work this morning. Late morning has found me on top of Gabbett Peak. This will be the last time that I'm over 12,000 feet for the entire high route. It's called Gabbett Peak because it's pretty simple. There's Mount Gab right there, and there's Mount Abbott right there. And as you can see, there's a lot of snow, but one of the reasons I want to take this is because way off in the distance there, you can see the two lone sentinels of the Northern Sierras. Those are where I'm going to be in about a week or so. So those are called Banner and Ritter Peak, and they lie about a day south of the Yosemite border. So it's nice that I can finally get to see those. It's a long way away, but I'm looking forward to it, and the day has been absolutely perfect so far.
I like to rest my heavy head tonight on a bed of California stars. I like to lay my weary bones tonight on a bed.
We haven't seen anybody, I think, in 3.5 days or so, and saw this most adorable couple. I'm probably in their mid-60s. She offered me this wonderfully decadent chocolate. I sadly had to decline. It was a tough choice, though. I was telling her, about it being unsupported, and I don't think she quite got it until I declined a wonderful candy bar. And, to have that right now next to this fire would be really good.
I like to dream my troubles all away on a bed of California stars. Jump up on my star bed, make another day underneath my California stars. They hang like grapes on vines that shine and warm love's glass like friendly wine. So I give this world just a dream.
So this mid-morning brings me to the top of Bighorn Pass, which was, I have to admit, my favorite pass so far, climbing up through there. Let me show you where I came from. Down the very bottom there, you can see a Laurel Lake 900 feet down there. If we kind of pan around there, that's looking due south. And that canyon is the second recess, which I came down yesterday. And that divide over there is, on the other side of that divide is Lake Italy and the Bear Lakes Basin. So I came over that divide yesterday at Gabbett Pass. Looking around a little bit further, kind of precariously up on this humongous boulder so that you can see a little bit better. There's a lake down there, which I will not be going to. And then, of course, well, my next objective is that pass right there. That is called Shout of Relief Pass. And the reason it's called Shout of Relief Pass is for the next couple days, the next 2 or 3 or 4 days, it's not as technical. And it starts to get technical back when I get into the minarets and banner region. But so I'm going to get up there and yell a shout of relief that a lot of the tough stuff's over. But before I get there, I gotta get through this little boulder and talus and ramp field. The nice thing is I get to be up and under those, so that's kind of nice. Life's going real well for me. I can't complain at all. I'm feeling good. The only interesting things, the only thing that really hurts on me are my lips. And I think it's just because the altitude, you have to breathe so much more, and just pulls the moisture out of your lips, and also the UV just burns it. So I'm putting a ton of, that's probably what you see right now. It probably looks like a mime. I'm just having to put a ton of zinc oxide. It's supposed to be clear, but as you can probably tell, it's not. The other thing is I can tell I'm starting to get leaner or skinnier. My hip belt is almost fully maxed out now, so as far as I can't tighten it much anymore. So I'm starting to lose the weight, but that should be rectified at the very end of this trip when I go out and eat all the guacamole and bacon cheese burgers that I want, and all the burritos, humongous burritos. And I'll just tell you what, Bridgeport, the town I'm ending at, had better watch out because I'm going to eat them out of house and home. No, I'm not that hungry, but it would be nice to have a big burger right now. Hope everybody's doing well. It's Sunday, and I will talk to you guys later. So after the last few summers, I've been trying to find the best swimming hole within a 1 hour's drive of Portland. And I found a lot of them, but I found this one today. And although it's a little bit further than an hour's drive from Portland, I do now know what the best is. And it's called Sir Isaac Walton Lake in the High Sierras. A steer blue surrounded by lots of rock, and then of course you've got the mountains. Here's to the Sierras. Woohoo! Oh, the water's fine.
There's a beauty in the nothingness. There's a beauty in the not having to deal with, or not having to do something. Like I said, there's a beauty in the calmness, and I think, you know, for the first time, I kind of sat back and said, you know what? I'd be fulfilled if I didn't do anything more today. Which I think is probably the first time in my life I could probably say that. But you never really think about how hard it's going to be. And that's probably a good thing, because if we knew how difficult something was going to be when we were planning it, we probably wouldn't end up doing it. The human body is an absolutely amazing specimen. Its resiliency, its ability to cope with stress and hardship, it continues to blow my mind even as I get older. I've asked my body to do a lot, and every day that I get into camp, it's done, it's beat, but I take care of it, I clean it up, I feed and nourish myself, I get the sleep that I need, and I wake up ready to go again, and it just doesn't complain. And it's funny what your body will do when the cards are all down on the table. Tomorrow, I have to admit, is a day I've really been looking forward to. I continue along the Mammoth Crest, but I end up dropping down into Devil's Postpile National Monument. And at Devil's Postpile National Monument is a ranger station, a campground, a hot spring, and more importantly than all those things is a phone. So I get to call, I'm going to call my parents, I'm going to call my grandma. They're expecting a phone call from me. And, it weighs heavy on my mind when other people are worried about me. So I'm excited to put their mind at ease, and I'm excited to talk with them. Don't quite know what I'm going to say because there's absolutely no way to sum up the first 11 days in a phone call. I'll probably just tell them that the Sierra High Route has been incredibly enjoyable and difficult at the same time, and that I'm loving life and that I have daily trials and daily successes.
'Twas in another lifetime, one of toil and blood, when blackness was a virtue, the road was full of mud. I can't.
And I'm hiking up out of Red's Meadow up to Superior Lake today, and as you can probably tell, what we have here is an impending storm, which I'm going to get to deal with tonight. A lot of lightning and thunder out that way.
Did bypass it.
Into there today or tonight, and that's where I'll be staying. So these thunderstorms come to learn are pretty normal for the Sierras. When it gets really hot down in the valley, it just moves this moist air up here, and they start thunderstorms around 2 o'clock, and it's kind of right on cue. It's 2:15 right now, and hopefully it'll dissipate, but no promises. So that's what I'm doing right now, but feeling awesome right now. I feel like I can walk through this thunderstorm without much of an issue. But just wanted to show you one of the daily trials and tribulations of a Sierra High Route trekker. Well, they say that misery loves company, and I've got a lot of one and not a lot of the other right now. It's kind of set up for camp here at Superior Lake, day 12, and kind of in the middle of a nasty little thunder and rainstorm right now. So I'm just kind of waiting it out underneath this tree, trying to not get wet myself and not let anything else get wet. I started a little bit of a fire, but the rain put that out. I guess the biggest key here is when it does start to rain, you need to find shelter immediately, because getting your gear wet is one of the worst things that could happen. I mean, down sleeping bags don't dry. People who are wet suffer from hypothermia and stuff like that. So I was scouting Nancy Pass, which is right over there. You can't quite see it, but whoever Nancy is, I don't want to meet her because she looks mean and ornery. Like I said, these are just the tough parts of any sort of route like this, is dealing with the weather. It's not that bad, but I sure wish it would get nice before it gets dark. Might have to cook, just sitting here in this bivy sack. So, till tomorrow, I guess I'll see you guys later.
Do I understand your question, man? Is it hopeless and forlorn? Come in, she said, I'll give you shelter from the storm.
Well, here's the top of Nancy Pass. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was a good thing to get or good thing to do right at the beginning. I'm sitting in an absolute idyllic spot up here. I can see forever around here, and I'm really excited. I'm going to show you where I'm going, the basin I'm going. I'm excited about today. I think it's day 13. I'm going to be going under the minarets and under Ritter and Banner. But kind of let me give you a tour of the place. So I just came up that Nancy Pass. It's not a very good view, but looking south, all the way down there's some. It's funny thinking I was on the other side of those peaks just 3 days ago, and it's absolutely gorgeous down there. Kind of looking across here, just all this beautiful granite. Looking to the west. And then coming here, this is what I'm going to be entering right here. Get the minarets there, and then Ritter and Banner down there. And then, yeah, I just keep coming around. The views, as you can imagine, are quite nice. The next objective is kind of make it down to here, down that nasty little scree field. But life's good. I got a big smile on my face. I don't have much to say. It looks like, I'm not sure, it'd sure be nice if we didn't get thunder and lightning today, but I'm feeling really good about life. And I finally see the sun. It's been gone for 2 days, so my friend the sun's back out, and I'm ready to do some cross-country travel.
There's a place I dream about where the sun never goes out and the sky is deep and blue. Won't you take me there with you?
I'm camped underneath Banner Peak right now. I've always kind of wondered why I have such an affinity for mountain peaks. In 7th grade, my reading teacher, Miss Fisher, she gave me the option of reading a book, Banner in the Sky, and it was about a young kid in the Swiss Alps who decided that he wanted to climb this peak that nobody had ever climbed before. But I was thinking as I was sitting here under Banner Peak that it's funny how little things when you're growing up really dictate who you are as an adult. And I think that reading that book and my interest just piqued my curiosity in these mountains. And so, Miss Fisher, look where that little reading assignment got me.
Close my eyes, I see all the space and the mystery. Oh, we can begin again. Share our skin, let the sun shine in. At the edge of the ocean, we can't stop.
Like I said, there's a calmness here that kind of permeates a lot of things, and I'm finding myself kind of fall into that calmness. And I'm starting to think to myself, or reacquaint myself with how perfect and beautiful this gift of life is. And whatever eternity is, it can wait a good long while for me, because this life that I've found is already heaven. easily the most peaceful, untouched place I've ever been in my life, and sure be nice if it remains that way for my entire life. This is a magical place back here that there are very few souls that probably ever get to visit. More calories, so my body's holding up well, but it's kind of funny how it works. And in the morning, I'm taking just very solid, stout, confident steps, and feel like I can run over and up and down any obstacle that's put in my way. And when I start coming into camp nowadays, my steps aren't really all that confident, and I'm so tired that my trekking poles are sometimes dragging behind me, and I get into camp and I collapse, and I take care of myself. I stretch, I hydrate, I clean myself up, and then I just give my body all the sustenance that it needs in the form of food, and it somehow every single day recuperates to 100% in the morning and is raring and ready to go. But I wonder how long I can keep that up.
Like a flare on the hillside, she shone, and I knew right then that my best days were gone. And I'd been in the lowlands too long. Oh, I've been in the lowlands too long. Should go, but I've been in the lowlands.
Once you find that, you better hold on to that trail like grim death, because it's the only way you're getting down there, and you will lose it, and you need to find it again. Like I said, the only way I can tell you to find it is bring here good karma, maybe a lucky horseshoe, a rabbit's foot, and if you can fit a genie's lamp in your backpack, do that too, because if you don't find that trail going down there, you're going to be in a world of hurt, and I don't have any recommendation on how to find that.
No fault but my own. I've been in the lowlands too long. No, I've been in the lowlands too long. Oh, I know that I should go, but I've been in the lowlands too long.
Well, I don't know what I'm saying this, but I guess I just wanted to document just sort of how much of an emotional roller coaster this whole trip's been for me. I'm not sad at all. I'm in Tuolumne Meadows right now, day 16. I have 4 days left. I made my phone call home to Mom and Dad and Carrie. And I was just sitting here because there's a post office, writing some postcards to my parents and Grandma. And just trying to put into words how much this whole trip means to me. It's so hard. I've changed so much, and not at all in some ways. And like I said, I don't even know why I'm so emotional. I'm really happy right now. You know, I miss my family, but I don't overly miss them or anything like that. I just don't know, and it's so... I live in such a dichotomy right now. You know, I was talking to some people last night, and everybody up here just thinks that, like, what I'm doing and the style that I'm doing it they just keep saying, like, you're just a hard man. There's absolutely nobody on earth who could do what you're doing. And it is physically hard. But I definitely don't feel like a hard man right now. Sitting here freaking crying in front of a camera. For no apparent reason. Like I say, I'm not sad. I'm excited. I sort of rest day here. I'm gonna do some laundry and sleep and figure out the food for the rest of my time. And another thing, I'm just starting to realize this trip's over in 4 days, and so much of me just wants to get it done so that I can say I've got it done. I get to have a burger and a bed and a shower and all those things that I haven't had to have in over 2 weeks, and make some phone calls and stuff like that. And the other part of me just knows I'll never ever get to do something like this again in my whole life. And I'm coming to the realization that this is pretty much just like a major personal odyssey for me. I guess Winslow Homer would be proud. That's about all I have to say. Like I said, wanted to capture just the highs and the lows and everything in between on what it takes to do this trip. But it's sunny out. I'm gonna go for a swim. There's people here, too freaking many people. It's gonna be a little harder than I thought to reacquaint myself with society. But I'm gonna get to. And then tomorrow I take off for Gaylord Lakes, Great Sierra Mines, and then hit the east side of the Sierras. That's what I'm doing now. I'm gonna try to finish up these cards, have one more to write to Carrie. And then after that, get some sleep and get some rest and fix my body and go from there. So I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm thin. I've changed a lot. I have 4 more days and I can't quite think of the end yet. I still have a couple of hard passes, but the end's coming down, and barring anything really bad happening, this trip is gonna happen in the style that I want it to, and it's taken a lot of work to get here, and I'm excited to see how this thing turns out. I've definitely become more grateful for the blessings that I have, and this place has definitely humbled me quite a bit.
Do you believe in what you see? There doesn't seem to be anybody else who agrees with me. Do you believe in what you see?
I knew that this route was going to be demanding physically and mentally, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard. I bit off a lot, and I think anybody who tackles this route is doing the same thing. But it is very, very difficult. It as much as you get into the gear and stuff like that, ultimately what it comes down to is how hard you're willing to push your body and your mind. I'll tell you what, I'm fighting two things right now. I'm fighting hunger. I'm always hungry. And the other thing I'm fighting is just fatigue. And I just mean I'm tired. My body just wants to shut down, and I don't blame it. I've been pushing it really hard for a long time now, and it deserves a rest. But I'm starting to have to take mandatory naps now.
In what you see, and I'll shout, I'll scream, but I'd rather not be seen, and I'll hide away for another day.
Good morning. It is day 18 of this adventure, and as I say, every single day's got some sort of surprise in it for me today. Right now I'm sitting up on top of the eastern spur of Mount Conness. It was the first objective kind of for today. It's about 9 o'clock, so I've been on the road for 2 hours or so. And I got up here and I'm just surrounded by these huge mountains. Mount Conness is on my left. I'm looking straight at North Peak, and then over that way is Shepherd's Crest. And they're just these towering granite spires with snowfields in them. And I'm looking down on Conness Lakes and the Cascade Lakes, and just it's this beautiful area. And then my stomach started to turn, and I saw the next objective, which is about 4 or 5 miles away. And it is called the Sky Pilot Col. And let me tell you how I'm going to get there. I got to climb up this ridge a little bit further, and then I'm going to go down this spur, right down here, down to the outlet of Conness Lake. I've got to get over that little hump, and then down into Cascade Lakes, and then the pain really starts. And I've got to get over that right there. So I'm going to go up that little timberline country. That's not going to be too hard right here. But then this, up through that, and I've got to end up there somehow. And that is going to be tough. It looks like a lot of scree. I'm going to be baking in the sun. It's going to be 2 feet up and 1 foot back. But like I said, that's just part of the high route. What I love about this place, and I'm going to get onto the other side of that, traverse a little down Shepherd Crest, and make it to Shepherd Lake by this evening. So that's the goal, and I'm going to have a good time doing it. Well, I want to share with you what it feels like to get up to the top of a pass here. So I'm going to let you do this with me for the last 20 or 10 feet of this 700-foot pass here. Oh man, this is the top of Sky Pilot Col, and I just climbed 700 vertical feet of the nastiest, steepest, unstable talus field, followed by the last 100 feet was scree fields that sank up to your ankles, and it feels good to be up here. And I have to say I enjoyed every punishing step of that one. That was pretty nice. That's where I'm coming from. There's the scree field you just helped me climb up. That's looking south, way south. And this is what I'm coming in on right here. That's the lake I'm going to camp at tonight, right down there. I believe, I don't even know what it's called, Shepherd Lake. And this is pretty insane. I can, the Matterhorn, which is out there, that's the last peak I have to cross in my trip. So I have 2 days left. I'm going to be camping down there. I've got to drop, oh man, this is going to suck, 1,300 feet of talus, but I'm going to be camping there at a lake that's hardly ever visited. And then, wow, 2 days left on this trip, but I just wanted to show you what it was like to come to the top of the pass. It's pretty exhilarating. Kind of like skiing, just a little bit steeper. Sitting up here on the top of Stanton Pass, and I can see my campsite about 2 miles in the distance there, and underneath Matterhorn Peak. And I'm in no hurry to get there. It's 12 o'clock. I've got all day to get there, and I'm just sitting up here enjoying this place right now. I am literally and figuratively on top of the world right now, and I'm just right now starting to let the gravity of this entire experience start to set in. And I'm just feeling so much just wonderful joy, gratitude, and this is an experience I'll never forget. It'll be a life-changing experience, and I'm just incredibly happy right now, and I'm just soaking in all of this sun, and all of this feeling, and all of this view.
There's a place I dream.
Every single day of your life, on this trip, but also in the working world, that you will find two things. You will find trials and you will find happiness. And you'll find both of those every single day of your life. And what I learned about the trials is I need to be open to those trials, and I need to recognize that all the trials that I have the tools to get through it, but also probably more importantly, trials are pathways that help us to become more self-actualized. Then the other part, the happiness. We can never have too much happiness in our life, so when we do have it, we need to welcome that with open arms too, and we also need to share it with others.
Good morning. It's my very last day on this trip. Today I'll be descending down into Twin Lakes, which is the terminus of this absolutely wonderful and stunning adventure. But I wanted to show you something as I get ready to pack up for the last time. The sun is still, I'm going to be in the shadows for a while, as you can see, but getting everything ready here for the last time. And I wanted to show you this. I've got my 2 bear canisters here and this right here, this stuff sack. At the beginning of the trip, those were completely full of food, 41 pounds of food. And about 8 days ago or so, I said I was going to go for broke, which meant I was going to put all my eggs in one basket and try to get this thing done and one push in the style that I want. And I want to show you what going for broke means. That is all the food that I have left. 1 Snickers bar for today. So I'm excited. It's going to get me down to camp, and I have to admit I had dreams last night of eggs and ham and bacon and pizza, and I'm going to eat all that stuff here soon. So right there's my last pass. Horse Creek Pass, a very simple pass, but I'm going to enjoy every minute of today. Well, all great things must come to an end, and I'm at the very end of this incredible route, the Sierra High Route. I'm sitting here at Twin Lakes. I've been thinking about this moment right now for a very long time, and now that it's here, words can't even express the emotions and the feelings I'm having right now. It has been the most incredible experience of my entire life, this trip. There is one thing I will say. Those mountains are special and raw and pure and beautiful, and you owe it to yourself to come down here and visit these mighty Sierras. And I guess I'll leave you with a quote from John Muir in a letter he wrote to Thoreau. He was trying to convince Thoreau to come out and see these Sierras. And in the letter he wrote, "It will cost you nothing but your time, and even that is insignificant, for it is eternity."
The Sierra High Route's been my adventure and my dream, and it's no better or harder than any of the other dreams that are out there. And everybody has dreams, and all that an adventure is making that dream come true. One thing that I have learned is that our time on this earth is finite, and we are usually our own harshest judges, and we judge our life by what we put in between that very small time frame between infancy and death. And like I said, everybody has dreams, whether it's completing the Sierra High Route, sailing around the world, rectifying a broken friendship or relationship, traveling to Africa to help with the AIDS epidemic, starting a new job, going back to school, moving cross-country to see if a loving relationship will work out. There's a million adventures out there. And those are our dreams. And with every dream, there's 100 what ifs, and people don't have a problem telling you what if, or telling you the what ifs, and they try to shoot these things down. And you can probably imagine all the what ifs that people told me for this. What if a bear gets you? What if you break your leg? What if you get bored? What if you get sick? What if, what if your boots break down? What if you want to call home? That's just the tip of the iceberg. And at some point, you just have to say screw the what ifs. And you have to ask yourself the more important question: what if I don't do this adventure? Or what if I don't pursue this dream? I'm reminded of a quote that my good friend Joe Naris told me as I was preparing for this. He said, Doug, there's all kinds of people who will tell you can't do something, but there's nobody who's going to stop you once you start it. And I think about that a lot. So I guess the real question here is not why I did the Sierra High Route. The real question is, what is your next adventure, and when are you going to start it?
I'm a dreaming man, yes, that's my problem. I can't tell when I'm not being real. In the meadow dusk, I park my Aerostar with a loaded gun and sweet dreams of you. I'll always be a dreaming man. I don't have to understand. I know it's alright. I see your curves and I feel your vibration. You dressed in black and white, you lost in the mall. I watch you disappear past Club Med Vacation. Another sleepless night, a sun that won't fall. I'll always be a dreaming man. I don't have to understand. I know it's alright. is gone, a new day is dawning. In our homeless dreams, go back to the street. Another time or place, another civilization. Could really make this life